Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's video. Going to have a look at the weather. And it's 14 days for today's video. Day 10 will take us to the 27th of February. And we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the GFS and ECM ensembles. Maybe on a couple of weeks. Have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. Gets into the middle of March. I'll get on that for you in a moment. Just say there was a 6 AM forecast this morning, so sorry about that. I was a little bit unwell with migraine yesterday, so I had an early night, and didn't get 6 AM forecast, and it should be back though. We'll be back tomorrow. So please like, share, and subscribe on today's video if you enjoy it. Thanks so much everyone for doing that. Hope you're having a lovely, lovely Monday. Alright, we're going to start off with the latest wind from that from earthnullschool.net. Showing that we're bringing in southeasterly winds today, so after a gloomy weekend, it's a bit bright today, but still quite chilly. The air off continent is still quite cold. However, low pressure in the Atlantic and weather systems are going to be making inroads through the next few days, and so by Thursday and Friday we're going to be a lot milder. Another change in this topsy-turvy winter. Central England temperature is currently sitting at 4.1, that's 0.3 of a degree above the 61 to 1990 average. It's provisional to yesterday, to the 16th of February. I'll probably tick down slightly, a little bit more. I might go to about 3.9 and then should start coming up again as we get through to the end of the week. These were GFS upper temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're looking at London today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London, starting off around average at the moment. But upper air temperature is going to be lifting up through this week. It's going to become really quite mild. As we get through to the very last days of February, a bit of a cooling trend showing up. In fact, it might be going into quite a chilling and stormy pattern, really, as we come to month's end and the beginning of March. And March also starts close to average with the temperature, but it looks very unsettled. So precipitation wise, we're going to have quite a bit of dry weather for London until the end of the week. Northern western areas will turn increasingly unsettled. But then as we go through the second half of the week into weekend and next week, looking really quite unsettled there. So we could be in for a bit of a, well, I wouldn't say a deluge, but we could be under the cosh in the Atlantic where we get through to the last days of February and into the start of March. Temperature anomalies for the next 5 days coming out milder than average. That's a change on the last couple of weeks. If we look at the 6 to 10 day temperature anomaly, also coming out above average, and the 10 to 14 day temperature anomaly slightly above average but comes down. So certainly the next week or so could be very mild. As we come to month's end at the start of March, we might have a bit of a cooling trend, but nothing desperately cold showing up there. And precipitation anomalies for the next 7 days are wetter than average for the west, near normal further east. If we look at the 8 to 14 day precipitation anomaly, overall slightly above average. So quite an unsettled sort of end to February and end to mid-tropical winter. Okay, let's start going from chart data then. This is our latest UK Met Euro run. It's looking for midnight on Thursday. So we're drawing up a long fetch southwesterly from the Azores, looking very mild there, but there will be some rain into the west. Perhaps becoming properly wet and windy by the end of the week for Western Scotland anyway, with heavy rain moving across the country. And then into the weekend and the beginning of next week, another long fetch southwesterly, dragging up more very mild air, though wet and windy through the weekend and into the start of next week. Icon again, drawing up that southwesterly with Thursday and Friday, should be very mild into the weekend. While stays unsettled, its next low again, bringing in a big warm sector ahead of it. So all looking wet, windy and mild through the weekend into the start of next week. That gets us to midday next Monday, when we are as flat as pancake with low pressure to the north and high pressure is down to the south. Whoops. This is how the KMA is looking, so almost of a muchness through the end of the week and into the weekend. Plenty of low pressure being wet and windy weather. Quite stormy there for the early part of next week in the north. Really tightly packed isobars coming through. A little bit drier and cooler as we head up towards day 10. And then we're back into those westerlies again by the 1st of March. Very Atlantic driven and very zonal. The GFS midnight run, much of a muchness again as we go through the weekend and into next week. Plenty of low pressure bringing unsettled conditions, possibly turning a little bit colder around day 9 and 10 with projection just shifting a bit further southwards. Sends the wind flow and jet stream on a northwest southeast alignment. A bit slow digging in from the north could bring something a little bit cooler in with it, but very quickly back into those potentially rather stormy conditions actually, and we look really unsettled with the GFS midnight run right the way up to the 5th of March. So a cold stormy pattern getting going there through the first days of March, and then on to the GFS 6Z. Once again looking really mild at the end of the week with those southwesterly winds, a little bit cooler but still mild into the weekend, and rather stormy on Saturday. Very tightly packed isobars, plenty of wet and windy weather coming through then. Again, northwest southeast alignment to the wind flow and jet stream around days 8, 9, 10 could bring something a bit colder in from the north, so I might get some wintry showers at that point, with further low pressure rattling through. That looks particularly unsettled and quite stormy for the 1st of March. That's the first day of mid-tropical spring. And the next low rattling in. Both of those have potential to be named storms, but of course they are a very, very long way off and probably will be toned down. But it's just the idea, I think, that this first week of March could potentially be really quite stormy and not overly mild either. It could actually be quite cold and maybe cold enough for some snow. In the north, anyway, over Scottish Mountains, called this cold zonality. And cold zonality basically means that we are sending the jet stream on a northwest southeast alignment, and we're usually on the cold side of the jet just about. And it means that we bring the air out of Greenland, Iceland into the north, and that can bring snow to Scotland, and can bring significant snow to the Scottish mountains. Usually, because of the warm sectors with these areas of low pressure, it means that the south we just get a lot of cold rain. There are exceptions to that. I remember cold zone actually early March 1995 delivering a significant snow event here at the Towers, but that's quite unusual, quite rare from cold zone actually. Usually the snow is restricted to the north, but quite a cold and potentially stormy start to March on both the GFS runs today so far. And if you enjoyed the video, well, go on to GM in a moment. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, subscribe. Thanks so much everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get them to subscribe too. So much everyone for doing that. 50 subscribers, 50, will get us to 19.6k. So if you could give us a sub, that'd be absolutely awesome. Thank you so much everyone. Right, GM again looking really mild southwesterly winds on Thursday. Wet and windy as well, a little bit cooler as we go through the weekend on Saturday, but then we're back into those mild southwest winds again on Sunday. All looking very unsettled, low pressure continuing to power through right the way up to day 10 with the gem. Not as cold as the GFS output, by the way, but again, probably not quite as stormy either. We're closer to the Azores high there. And then the ECM looking like that. So once more, we've got the southwest winds on Thursday and Friday, very mild. A little bit cooler with more of a westerly on Saturday, but will still be mild. Then Sunday to Monday, that looks wet and windy. Heavy rain and also strong winds lashing the country. And then we go on through next week, bit of a northwesterly flow, so a little bit cooler around days 8, 9 and 10. Trying to get a ridge going from the Azores high as well. That's very quickly flattened off, though, by this particularly nasty-looking area of low pressure to the north of Scotland on the 3rd of March. That's bringing potential for severe gales, even storm force winds up in the north. All very mild, all very wet and windy, though, and we keep it flat as a pancake all the way up to 360 hours with high pressure south and low pressure north. Very westerly zonal start to March. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run up to day 10 anyway from Meteo.com. So increasingly unsettled is the message from all of the model output, not just the ECM today. Plenty of rain coming through at the end of the week. That's the weekend, looking very, very wet and windy then on Sunday. And then on into next week, so a little bit cooler and dry, a few wintry showers up in the north. This is the option on the table within the ECM ensembles today. 4-day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office gets us to the 27th of February. 51 out of 51 members of the ECM ensembles, all of them with low pressure to the northeast, high pressures out in the Atlantic, and winds are coming in from a cooler northwesterly direction. And then in 2 weeks' time, this is the option map we've got, and it gets us to the 4th of March. Very unsettled, deep low pressure in the Atlantic, rattling through into Western Europe. So plenty of wet and windy weather to come there. If that's right, we could be in for a bit of a pacing here, I think, when we get through to the beginning of March. Perhaps a couple of named storms to come. CFS V2 finally reached the 500 millibar high tonight. It's broken down into weekly periods. The first week period takes from the 17th to the 23rd of February. The next week, with low pressure to the west, high pressure is to the east, and up is coming that southerly flow. So looking very mild. And go through the week 2, which is 24th of February to 2nd of March. Bit of a strange one from the CFS. There's not much model output showing this, but strengthening high pressure over Scandinavia again, and bring the wind back into the east. There was a bit of a hint yesterday, actually, within some of the model outputs. You saw yesterday 10 to 14 day. We didn't do a live 10 to 14 day yesterday. I did it as a video because I wasn't feeling very well. Now, if you saw that, though, there were 1 or 2 hints within some of the model output. Scandinavian high was going to try and have another go at coming back around the beginning of February. That's gone in today's model output. But this from CFS, I think, was generated yesterday. So that might explain that. The CFS might have been picking up on that. And if that is the case, I expect that to be looking rather different in tomorrow's update. We'll see. Week 3 looks very unsettled. It's the 3rd to the 9th of March. Low pressure is in control. A little on the cold side as well. Northwest southeast light to the jet stream there. Almost bring the wind back in from the north and from the northeast. And then finally, week 4 is back to milder conditions again. It's the 10th to the 16th of March. Low pressure out in the Atlantic. High pressure strengthening to our east. And so we'll be bringing up wind generally from a southerly direction, or a southerly point. So that gets us milder and probably quite spring-like, actually, into the middle of March. And it's 4 weeks away. A long way off, and we'll see about that. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please can you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure to show everyone for doing that. Make sure you drop a comment. Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids and get them to subscribe too. And thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. So, again, just say very sorry about not doing live yesterday and the 6 AM broadcast this morning. Tomorrow, the 6 AM broadcast will be back, and we'll have the extended ECM as well for the next 4 weeks, also tomorrow, and also a 10 to 14 day. So come back to the channel tomorrow for more weather content. For this video, though, and for today's video, and the next live stream is Wednesday, or the next scheduled live stream is Wednesday anyway. If you so enjoy the rest of your Monday, and that's it for this one. We'll see you with more tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.